Hi, my name is Julie and I'm an alcoholic. So I am 9 years sober. February 4th was my 9 year sober birthday. And I thought in this video, I would just give you my story, my sobriety story, what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. So I think I want to start on my actual first sober day, which was February 4th, 2016. So 9 years ago. So 9 years ago on February 4th, 2016, I woke up kind of like any other day, which was hungover and too hungover to go to work. I remember it was a Wednesday because I worked in hospice and I was supposed to be going to our IDT meeting, which happens every Wednesday, where we review all of our patients. And once again, I couldn't go because I was too hungover. This was kind of like the story of my life for a long time. So I don't know why on this day, I was basically just sick of doing this over and over and over again. As they say, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And on that day, I basically vowed that I would never drink again. But let me back up a little bit because I now know that I was suffering from the disease of alcoholism. But at that time, I didn't know. And I just want to sort of back up and tell you how alcoholism looked in my life up until that point. Because I think people have a misconception of what alcoholics can look like and who they are and what they do. And I think it's a personal choice, by the way. It's a personal decision whether you claim to be an alcoholic or not. I do believe alcoholism is a disease, and I do believe I have that disease, but that's just my own personal belief, and everyone has to figure that out themselves. So all I can say is, growing up, even since I was a little girl, I would describe myself as restless and irritable and discontent. I was really, really wound up, really, really anxious, constantly overthinking and thinking about life and thinking about existential questions like why are we here and where do we go, even as a little girl, 4 or 5 years old. So I feel like because of all of that tension and buildup, by the time I was 13, 14 years old, when drinking starts being something you want to experiment with, it felt really good when I first drank because it finally relieved me of all of that tension. Just for a moment or two, I was finally relieved. And I think because I had that experience so young, and because biologically, genetically in my family, alcoholism kind of runs through my family. So I think I also have the genetic factor. It felt really good. That first time I tried it, I was finally relaxed. So what I did from 13 to 33, when I finally quit drinking, I sort of just rode this party girl persona train where I just like to party. This is who I am. I like to do these things. It's really fun. It was really fun. For some time. It was really fun. And eventually, as I got older and older and older, it got less and less fun because people were getting married, they were having kids, and I was still trying to kind of ride this party train, which gets a little sad and empty the older you get. So my life started changing, and I could see how alcohol was getting in the way of me developing hobbies and being able to maintain relationships was just getting in the way of things, right? So I started seeing it be more of a nuisance than something that helped me. But by that time, I didn't know what to do. So there were many years from about 28 to 33 where I went on this kick of I'm not gonna drink, but then I start drinking again. I'm gonna start running instead, and then I couldn't keep it up. Or I would try different hobbies. I would try different churches. I would try different meditation things to try to quote unquote fix me. Because I never really wanted to quit drinking because that was my best friend. But I knew that there was something wrong with me, is what it felt like. And for whatever reason, like I said, on this day, February 4th, 2016, it was just like any other day. I mean, I had far worse mornings, but there was just something that kind of clicked. I guess I could say it was a spiritual experience. I didn't feel like that at the time, but I can look back now and think maybe it was because suddenly I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I really didn't. I had said that many, many times over the years. I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm not going to do this anymore. And then I still would. But for whatever reason, on that day, it stuck. And I did not drink, and I haven't drank since. But the thing that really is the kicker that really helped me understand alcoholism is those 11 months. So for 11 months, I didn't drink, but I didn't get any help. I didn't go to rehab. I didn't get therapy. I didn't really do anything to help me understand how to live without alcohol. It was just my life in those 11 months just got like smaller and smaller and smaller and harder and harder and harder. I thought I would make new friends. I thought I would find new hobbies. I thought I would lose weight. I thought I would be healthier and feel better. And none of those things happened. Even the lose weight part, which was really annoying. I didn't lose any weight. If anything, I gained weight because I started craving sugar like crazy. So the first things I noticed when I quit drinking, just as a side note, were I would have drinking dreams every night. I woke up like 3 a.m. and craved sugar every night for weeks. And I had really, really bad cravings, like cravings for like warm, dry alcohol or like vodka. Even though I never really drank vodka like that, once I quit, I really, really craved it. So those things were kind of surprising to me because, as I said, at the time, I didn't think I was really an alcoholic. I just thought I would live better if I stopped drinking. So those things were surprising. And in those 11 months, I was so broken down because by the end of that 11 months, I was so sad. And I thought like, man, I did the thing I thought I needed to do to like feel better. And I didn't feel better. I didn't do better. I didn't do anything creative that I thought I would do. And it really got me to a low, low, low place where I felt super desperate. And I mean, I don't think I was really suicidal, but I feel like this is how people must feel if they are that. And it sort of felt like that I was at a crossroads. I either need to like die, which sounds drastic, but that's actually how it felt, or I need to start drinking again. That's how my brain thought. And now thinking about that, it's like, that's insane. Why would you think that? But at the time, it really felt real. It was like, those are the two options. So I guess I don't want to die, not yet anyway. So I guess I'll start drinking again. But before I did, I happened to meet a friend of like an acquaintance that I knew from this comedy club that I used to perform at. We saw each other in the grocery store and she was like, hey, let's go on this hike. Been meaning to like get your number and like hang out or whatever. And I was really, really sad and desperate and like really wanting people in my life at that time. So I was like, okay, yeah, even though I was like a shell of myself. And we went on this hike. And on the hike, I kind of unloaded on her, which was, I'm glad I did, but also like probably too much information for her first time meeting. But I like unloaded what was going on with me. I had quit drinking. It's been 11 months. It's almost been a year. I thought I'd feel better. I feel so awful. I don't know what's wrong with me. I guess I'm just going to drink again because like, why would I be sober if life's going to feel like this? And out of nowhere, she goes, oh, I think you're an alcoholic. And I was like, what? Why? And she was like, oh, well, I don't know. My mom's an alcoholic and she's in this 12-step recovery program. And, she's been sober for 30 years and she still goes. She still goes because she needs it for like her mental health. And then she goes, I'm also in a 12-step recovery program and I go all the time and it's been years. I think that's what you need. To be honest, I was insulted. I really did not think that's what I needed. So I was angry at this stranger who I thought, like, who's this girl? She doesn't know me. Like calling me out like that. But I also was super desperate. And she also was really kind. And she was like, listen, it doesn't mean anything. I'll take you to your first meeting. Just go and see. Just get some sober friends. It will be easy. It'll be nice, blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of like, okay, because I was desperate. And so I went to my first meeting with her and nothing really happened. I was too scared to like raise my hand or say anything or say I was new, but I listened. I don't remember anything that was said. But what that did was it opened the door for me to go to my second meeting. And for whatever reason, the next day by myself, I looked on my phone and like Googled like meetings near me. And of course there was one like starting in 15 minutes that was like 2 blocks away from my house. So I just said, screw it, I'm gonna go. And I can remember like what I was wearing, how the air felt. It was like really crisp because it was in January. I remember being really scared. And I walked into the room and the room only had a few people in there. There's probably only like 10 people. It was a really small meeting. And again, for whatever reason, at this time, in this moment, I raised my hand at that meeting and I said the truth for the first time in front of people. I said, I'm Julie, I'm an alcoholic. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if I'm really an alcoholic. I've been, not drinking and I'm miserable and I feel like I'm gonna die and I need help, blah, blah, blah. I just said it all. Everyone there related. They all understood. They all had been there. If you ask for help in rooms like that, they will help you. And it was the first time I really felt like real relief. And I got numbers of women in that meeting and they took me to my third meeting. In that third meeting, I met a woman who helped me go through this program and go through the 12 steps and do different things to just help me find relief in sobriety. taught me how to live in sobriety. And it was hard to do at first because I didn't fully buy into it. And when I say working, I mean, I started getting relief. I started feeling free. I started not feeling so restless, irritable, and discontent. I wasn't craving alcohol like I used to. I was feeling more fully alive. And that helped me keep going because I was getting results from what I was doing. And now here we are. Here we are, 9 years later. 9 years later, and it's still a huge part of my life. Hence why I talk about it all the time in this channel. It's like I have two main passions and two main goals in my life, and one of those is educating about death and dying, hence the channel Hospice Nurse Julie, and one of those is talking about my sobriety, because I'm so grateful that I am living sober today, and I'm so grateful that I have a solution to my alcoholism in the day that I'm in. And I want to make sure people know that if you're struggling with the disease of alcoholism or addiction, there are ways and people out there to help you. There's a whole program that can help you learn how to live sober and be happy, joyous, and free in the day that you're in. And really, I wouldn't say happy because I'm not always happy, but I do feel like I am peaceful and content most days that I'm in versus where I was years ago. It's such a joy, and I'm so grateful. So thank you for celebrating my 9 years of sobriety. February 4th is my sober birthday. I'll keep that date forever, a day at a time. And thank you for listening.